Ashtavakra Gita, verse 11. Muktabhimani mukto hi baddho baddhabhi manyapi kim vadanti satyeyam yamatihi sagatir bhavet. If you feel you are free, you are free. If you feel you are bound, you are bound. As is the desire, so is the manifestation. This saying is true. It's a saying. As is the desire, so is the manifestation. As you sow, so shall you reap. As is the desire, so is the manifestation. This saying is true. You are with your friends. You and your friends are flying in space, having fun, no gravity. One friend is upside down, one is playing with a balloon, pretending as if the balloon is taking him up. Another friend is flying like a fish, swimming like a fish, but flying in space. They're all having fun, making noise, giggling, laughing. And in that noise, suddenly you wake up. It's a dream. You're not totally up. You just recognize, oh, I am dreaming. In that moment, you have a choice to continue the dream or to drop it and get out of it. Yes? If you feel you are free, you are free. If you feel you are bound, you are bound. Whatever you choose, that manifests. You love the dream. It's so yummy, so much fun. My best friends. I don't want to let go of this lovely moment. You choose to continue. You're free to be bound by the dream. You choose to wake up. Drop it. You are free. Isn't this your own experience? Not exactly the same dream, of course. Another dream, whichever your dream is. Yeah? So isn't this my own personal experiential recognition that when I want to choose, I can be free. When I choose, I can be bound. Yes? We recognize this from our dreams. The same thing applies to the waking state. Exactly the same. As I desire, so is the manifestation. If I choose to be free, this moment I can be free. This moment I can stop faking. I was just faking it. I was faking it that I am mother, I am sister, I am daughter, I am colleague, I am teacher. I was getting involved with the role of this body mind and assuming it to be mine. I was taking up false ownership. The actions done by this body, I knew them after they were done, and I grabbed onto the false ownership of the body, of the actions of the body. I said I did it. When there was success, it pumped my ego when I said I did it. When there was failure, it pushed me down. I have chosen to pump my ego in success. I have chosen to get depressed when there is failure. I have chosen it. Is this very clear? Can I choose just the thrill of success? Is it possible? No. Once I choose to take ownership, then both come. Are you seeing this? You should question me here. Consciousness, supreme consciousness, Supreme, no? It should have ultimate freedom. How can it get bound? How can it feel? How can it be unhappy? So now you have to look at the proper understanding of ultimate. What is ultimate? What is supreme? Supreme is that which is beyond both opposites. So it has the power to play with both the opposites. Yes, it has the freedom to be free, it has the freedom to be bound. It can play with both the opposites because it is supreme, it is beyond both.
But it wants to experience everything, doesn't it?
Yes.
The bad and the good.
Exactly. Now suppose it was limited to only manifest the positive, only the good, only the happy, only success, not failure. Only good, not bad. Yeah, then the consciousness would still just be half then. It would not be supreme because it doesn't have the power of the negative. It would just have half the power of the positive. Only happy, not unhappy. Only prosperous, not poor. Only great, not low. Yeah? Only free, not bound. Oh, that means only 50% of the power. It would not be ultimate power. What is ultimate power? 100%, all of it. Yes? Complete freedom means beyond being free, beyond being bound. If it chooses, it can be free. If it chooses, it can be bound. That is why it is beyond being conscious and beyond being unconscious.
Beyond opposites.
Yes, beyond all opposites. Complete, total. Yeah? Total, the totality, all of it. Yes? So that is what you are. If I choose to be free, I can be free. If I choose to be bound, I am bound. If you are bound, it is because I have chosen to be bound. I have chosen this. I want to be bound. What makes me choose to be bound?
Desire to be.
Perfect. The second line is the answer. As is desire, so is the manifestation. It is my desire, my own craving. I recognize that if I feel bound because of this tiger or the tiger family, it is because I have chosen it. I have chosen the tiger. It is my choice. Yeah? I can choose to be free from this tiger right now. How? Just saying it's a waking thought. Thought cannot kill a thought. Thought cannot harm a thought. Illusion. It was an illusion that this is a snake. It's only a rope. Turn away from it. Yeah? And maintain that distance. This is where the real distancing will start happening. Yeah? And it's very, very real. It's very experiential. It is an actual distance from the body-mind. The body-mind is teaching. The body-mind is speaking Advaita Vedanta. I am just knowing that this body-mind is teaching. I am just knowing. I am not teaching. I have never taught. I have never spoken. I cannot speak. That constant recognition is there, moment to moment to moment to moment, from this now to the next now to the next now to the next now. Constant recognition. There's never a slip into the body. Never. This distance is permanent now. Yeah? It is my choice. I am free. Do you want to be free? You can do this. The moment you see this as harmless, oh, the tiger is only a picture of the tiger, not a real tiger. I am not really hurt. I cannot be hurt. Oh, it's harmless. So easy to turn away. Once you turn away, then you rest there. Then you're always there. This turning away and resting there, this creates the distance. And the distance increases on its own. As you get more and more and more established, the distance increases. And then there is no going back. There is no bridging this gap again. Nothing can pull me back. Nothing is worth in this waking thought to pull me back. Nothing. No name, no fame, no popularity, no money, nothing. Nothing you give me. For nothing will I come back. Will you ever go back to your childhood teddy bear and toys and red toy car and He-Man and Superman, whatever you played with? I mean, I can look at them, but okay, there, I'm away again. More than a glance, I cannot give anything more to it. Yes? That's it. More than a glance, I can't do anything more. There's no interest. This is Parama Vairagya. Parama Vairagya is the product of what? First, what happened? For Parama Vairagya to happen, first what happened? Okay, the distance happened. For distance to happen, what was the prerequisite?
Discrimination.
Yes, to discriminate between what and what? The real and illusory. Yes. But what was the most important part? I acknowledged the illusion, I accepted it, and I willingly turned away. This is called Satya Mithya Jnana. Satya, truth. Mithya, illusion. Jnana, my own inner seeing. Now I saw that it is not a snake, it is a rope. My inner seeing. You have seen that the tiger is just a thought. It's just a thought. You turned away and you rested as nothingness. You recognized the restlessness that the ego has and wants to go back to the tiger. Did you recognize that also? Yeah? This. You will have to repeat this turning around till the day you willingly, voluntarily turn away from the tiger. I'm done with it. No more looking back. I see the dream. I'm engrossed in the dream. I love the dream. Yes, I love the dream. It's very juicy. I recognize with Advaita Vedanta knowledge, it's an illusion. Initially, obviously, the ego does not want to accept it's an illusion. So obviously the shuttle will happen. A point will come when you get serious, when you're just done with it. I know it's a rope. I know it's not a snake. Why am I jumping still? Why am I jumping? You will question yourself. You'll come to that point. It's a natural cornering that Gyan will do for you. It will corner you. Knowledge from this side, from here, there. You play with kabaddi. It's an Indian sport where there is an English version, no? Tag. You play tag with friends. Yeah, and then you try to corner the person and your friend is holding your hand and there's no way the person can get out of there. Yeah? Kabaddi is similar. You corner the person and tag the person. There's no getting out of there. That's how wisdom is going to corner you from every side.
Okay. We're trapped.
Yes, you're trapped. It's a one-way street. It's going to corner you.
Willingly trapped.
Yes, willingly, voluntarily. You want it to happen. You're just looking. There is something in you that is looking for that last thing that will just like take all this away. Please take it away from me. There is that longing in you. Yeah, it's called Atma Vasana. The Vasana for the self, the longing for the self, the longing for the consciousness. It will trap you. It will bring you to that corner where you will have to give up that illusion, however dear it is to you. How much ever you love the tiger, you'll have to let it go. The door that got you in will get you out. Vasana got you in, Vasana gets you out. That's what brings you to an Advaita retreat. You left your family. It was very hard, 10 days letting go of everything and coming here. What pulled you here? It's that Atma Vasana. It has its magnetic pull on you. It pulls you. It pulls you.
So we alternate between being free and bound because in the sessions we recognize I am the space of nothingness. And then I am bound, I need to go to the retreat to be free. We alternate.
Yes, that keeps happening for some time. Till the time you get cornered finally. Yeah, you know, when they're playing tag, there is a way to escape. You keep finding ways to escape. It's the ego, it keeps finding ways to escape. You did that in the retreat also. It was told you to be silent. You found ways to talk to your friends. Yeah, I know how you find escape routes. Surrender, just surrender completely. Agree to be cornered. End the game, it's enough. Don't you feel it's enough? I'm done. How long? I just want to quit the game. The day you want to quit the game, you are free. Now quit. Now willingly quit. I quit. I'm done with this tiger. Finish it off. Accept it is simply a thought. It cannot harm me. How can a thought harm me? It cannot harm me. Be done with it. I'm done. Now rest. Just rest. What happens by resting? Very beautifully described on Buddha's path. That when you are in absolute nothingness, there is no body, no thoughts, nothing, you are the void. And you're so still. Then suddenly you notice like a little worm, the tanha, coming up.
Okay.
Very beautifully described. And it's exactly like that. It's like that little restlessness. And there comes the I. And then it holds on to something and you're back out of the nothingness. That teaches you, oh, it is desire that leads to manifestation. Only in nothingness can you learn this. You cannot learn this when you are out in the manifestation. You learn this, you see this in your own experiential recognition when you are deep in nothingness. In that absolute shunyata, that is when tanha comes up, the craving. And that's when the I comes up. Nothingness teaches you, as is desire, so is manifestation. That is the master key.
Once you are free, they say you never go back.
Yes.
What is to keep you from?
No, this comes up.
That comes up.
That comes up. I comes up.
Yeah.
The I does not hold to this and that. The I stands alone.
It just stands alone.
Yes.
And never again.
Never again.
Never again.
Never again. There are stories of fallen yogis. You've heard that. Of course there are. But
for the most part, it's
yes, never
a
again.
permanent thing.
Yeah, it's like once I've touched fire, burnt my hand, how will I put my hand into the fire?
Why did we do it in the first place?
Didn't realize that it was fire, like a little child.
Oh, okay.
Because that time there is immaturity. This thing is very beautifully explained on the Buddha's path. He says, as a beginner who doesn't have knowledge, he is like a child. Do you say a child is stupid? No, you say he is immature, he is learning, he is ignorant. That is why the word ignorance was used. There is a reason why ignorance was chosen. It's not condemning somebody, it is just explaining that somebody who's naturally immature or not grown up yet like a little child has some room for growth. So his ignorance is valid, is justified, is okay, is acceptable. Yes, again I told you consciousness has totality of freedom, ultimate freedom. It chooses to be.
I don't understand how it can be permanent.
Oh, it's not permanent. That is the thing. Everybody gets glimpses. Okay, remember the time before you came to spirituality, when you were seeped into the material world. Even then you got glimpses. In your most honest moment, you said, I really don't know what I did to get this success. You said it. But then when others came, when there were other people, then you wanted to take the success as, the credit, it's mine. But in your true moment, you said, I really don't know how this happened, how I got this success. So everybody gets glimpses of the truth. The most immature person, a kid, gets glimpses of the truth. Kid has another drawback, conditioning of the environment. Yeah, at least as an adult, we have the strength to reject the conditioning. As an immature little child, I don't have that ability to reject the conditioning. So that covers it more and more and pushes it deeper. So it takes some time to uncover and get back to that. And a kid actually knows the truth. I used to say as a little kid, there is only me, there is nobody else. Somebody comes, they play a role and they go away. Like we watch movies. They come, they play a role, they go away. They don't have real life, only I have real life. So children know. It's only conditioning that makes that cloud cover. Yeah. Early conditioning. Just that's all you can say. Yeah. So recognize this. This tanha is the key. If I start seeing it, I understand this verse in reality. I see this verse. If you choose, you can be free. Yeah. The choice is mine. I have to remember this. Ya mati sa gati. Yeah. In Hindi also there is no Jaisi mati, vaisi gati, same words, right? In Hindi also. As you sow, so shall you reap. As is the desire, so is the manifestation. Very clear?